Hey guys, look what we're making today. A delicious, gut healthy cauliflower crust homemade pizza that is going to satisfy your weight loss journey, satisfy your gut health, and satisfy your taste buds. If you are looking for comfort food, but you want to stay on track with your weight loss goals, go ahead, follow along today. We are going to make this delicious pizza and you are going to start adding it in to your weekly meal plan and you are going to see incredible weight loss results. Like you know, here at HealthyDaze, we are just intentional about the ingredients that we are putting into our bodies, and we are going to continue to see the weight loss results we're looking for. Let's go make this one together. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. If you're wanting your pizza to turn out exactly how mine did, it's so easy. Like you can see here, we'll just gather up our ingredients. For the crust, I use the riced cauliflower, the 10-ounce packages, get 2 of those. You'll need a couple eggs, the shredded Parmesan cheese, your spices. You're going to use the Italian seasoning, garlic powder, and oregano. And then for the sauce, I just mixed the roasted garlic hummus with some extra virgin olive oil. And your toppings, you can be as creative as you would like to. This is what I use on my pizza: the spinach, pico de gallo, feta cheese, sliced portobello baby mushrooms, and the tri-colored peppers. All right, so for the first step, you're going to go ahead and cut open your bags of the riced cauliflower. Just go ahead and get them to room temperature. You don't have to worry about cooking them because they'll cook up in the oven. And that reminds me, go ahead at this point, preheat your oven to 425, and we'll get started preparing the cauliflower crust. So go ahead and lay out a big kitchen towel. I know this step seems kind of different, but it's very important. The first time I made this, I did not do this step and I just used it without removing the moisture from the cauliflower, and you don't want to do that. You want to be sure to go ahead and pour it onto your clean kitchen towel, squeeze out all that excess moisture, and then start preparing the crust. So get that all dumped out and go ahead and just kind of fold it up so that you can make the top almost like an old-fashioned ice pack, and just start squeezing to start removing that moisture from the cauliflower. All right, and once I think that I have all the moisture removed from the cauliflower, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to transfer it into the bowl. And everybody kind of finds their own unique way to do this. So get that transferred over. Next, you're going to go ahead and you're going to crack 1 egg in with your cauliflower. So go ahead and mix the egg in with the cauliflower. And you can kind of see when it gets all blended in there and it's nice and coated. That's going to create that bond and give it that nice crust for you. If you've been intimidated in the past to make a cauliflower crust, don't be. It's actually a lot of fun and much better for you. And then go ahead and add in your shredded Parmesan cheese. I like to get the 5-ounce, and I go ahead and I dump the whole thing in there. That gives it so much flavor. And mix that in. Some people use shredded mozzarella. It really is your preference. To me, it's a better Italian tasting pizza with the Parmesan. But I suppose it would all just go by preference. So continue to mix that. And then we'll add in our seasonings. I just kind of eyeball it, but if you want to know an exact measurement, go ahead and do 1 tablespoon of your Italian seasoning. Gives that crust more flavor, great gut healthy components. And you can do a tablespoon of the oregano or half a tablespoon. You know the seasonings that you like. And it's all just going to be adding more gut health components and more flavor to your pizza. And if you've checked out any of my other videos, you know that I love the garlic powder. So I go ahead and I go really heavy with the garlic powder. Again, you add what you think that you're going to enjoy. You can't do it wrong. I mean, I suppose you could, but just trust yourself. And continue mixing that in. And once you have that all mixed up, go ahead, wash your hands. Hopefully you already have because you're preparing food. But go ahead and wash your hands again, and we're going to get right in there. And we are just going to completely start to squeeze and mold that in to a nice pizza dough. I like to use my hands because that way you're able to just really squish it all together. And it starts to form up and form that pliable pizza dough. So work at that. And at this point, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to transfer the crust over to our pizza pan. So you can just dump it onto there. And then you're just going to squish it down. Make it as thin or thick as you like. I like a thinner crust. And just keep working it all the way out to the edges. This is a 16-inch pizza pan, so that kind of shows you with the ingredients that we used, how big of a pizza you'll make. It doesn't quite make it all the way out to the edges. You'd probably be able to get away with a 14-inch. But at this point, I can kind of feel that there's still some moisture in there. So I'm actually going to grab my paper toweling, and I'm going to pick up some of that excess moisture. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the thickness. You want to get it down to about a 1/4 inch. But you want it to be able to stay together, so you don't want to make it too thin. So once you work with it for a little bit, you'll get the idea. And I promise you, you're going to want to make this again and again. All right, so like I said, as I was placing it down in there, I could see that there was still some excess moisture. So feel free to just go ahead and dab that if you find that that's on yours as well. You want to try to remove as much excess moisture as possible. All right, so that's looking better. And we're going to go ahead. We're going to pop this in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes at 425. And then we're going to go ahead and add our hummus with olive oil for a nice light sauce and our beautiful toppings. All right, so the pizza has been in there for about 12 minutes. You can kind of see how the crust is getting, the edges are getting nice and golden. So that tells me it is ready to take out. So you can see how beautiful that turned out, and we're just going to set that off to the side, and we're going to go ahead and make up our sauce, and then we're going to add our toppings, and we're going to put it back into the oven. So keep your oven on 425, and we're going to go ahead and finish decorating this. But look at that, you guys. Absolutely delicious. I wish you guys were here and could smell the aroma. I'm so excited for you to try this one. Now at this point, I start to mix up the sauce mixture. Now everybody is different. I like to use a roasted garlic hummus sauce mixed with the extra virgin olive oil. Again, this is a great way to sneak in a little bit more protein, a little bit more fiber, and I am all for that, for sustainability and for staving off hunger. So I go ahead and add half a cup of the roasted garlic hummus. And then we add in for our healthy fats, the extra virgin olive oil. Go ahead and do 2 tablespoons. And it just gives it a nice sauce to blend over the crust. So go ahead and get that mixed up. And you can see once you have that all mixed up, it kind of makes like a pudding paste consistency. And just go ahead and add that right onto your pizza. And it just gives something for the vegetables to all adhere to and stick to. And just start spreading that out. It's just going to be a really thin layer right on top of that crust. And once you have that thin layer all spread all over, you go ahead and start decorating. This is my favorite part. Again, you can't do this wrong. You know the ingredients that you like, the healthy vegetables that you are going to enjoy on your pizza. But this is following step by step exactly how I make mine. Go ahead and add the pico de gallo. Put a nice layer of that all over. So much flavor, so many gut healthy components. And then we'll add our mushroom. It's going to be so satisfying, such a great addition to add into your weekly meal plan. I hope you just have a blast making this one, knowing how good for you it is. And we're going to add in our sweet peppers. You're going to be so surprised how satisfied you are. It really turns out to be a nice hearty pizza. The spinach adds great fiber and antioxidants. And then once I get all of that on there, I like to top it off with the feta cheese, because to me that kind of melts everything down and helps it all stay together. And you are set. A little bit more cheese. We love the cheese, and that's another great protein. All right, so look at that, you guys. We're going to go ahead, we're going to pop it in the oven for another 12 to 15 minutes. Then we're going to take it out, slice it up, and we are going to enjoy. Look how easy that was. All right, so it's been about another 15 minutes. We just took it out of the oven, and look at that. We are going to go ahead and slice it up. It's ready to serve. This is a great one to make if you're having friends over and you want to have some comfort food, but you're wanting to stay on track with being healthy and reaching your weight loss goals. This is a great option to serve up. If you enjoy it and you make it, please leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought about it. Share it with friends, and let's go with this weight loss thing together. Subscribe to my channel at HealthyDaze. I have weight loss salads, weight loss smoothies, and I just offer different healthy tips that have worked for me over the years. So give this one a try and let me know what you think of it.